Hey everyone, CD Racing here. Welcome back for episode 10 of our Dirt Rally 2 career mode playthrough. Now, last episode out in Monaco, looking to bounce back from a couple problematic weekends in a row, and everything was going so well right up until the end.
He's trying to slow the car down.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
Early on the power, as soon as we can, everything's clicking.
Are you sure about that?
Titans 80. Is that a puncher at the front?
I swear, our co-driver chooses the most inconvenient times to be completely oblivious to the condition of our car. But all jokes aside, obviously not what we were looking for this weekend. And this weekend, going into a notoriously sketchy high-speed rally, let's see if we can finally lock in and bounce back in the one, the only, Finland. Alright, welcome to Finland, ladies and gentlemen. 4.67 miles for our first stage with only 13 feet of elevation change. Now, these elevation changes throughout the entire weekend, as we get a little visual look over what we're going to be tackling, very, very small in relativity. I mean, we're talking like 80 feet of elevation max. So why are there so many jumps in Finland? Because the elevation changes come very, very, very rapidly. You're going to see massive drop-offs leading to huge jumps all over the weekend, and I cannot wait to tackle it. Now, as always, let's get a quick overview of the weekend. We've touched briefly on the first stage, and I will talk again about the lack of elevation. 13 feet of elevation on the first stage. Second stage, 49 feet of elevation, almost 10 miles in distance, however. Third stage going to be similar to the first one, 4.62 miles with 65 feet of elevation. Stage 4 and 5 are the same stage, just in reverse for the second time. Again, 55 feet of elevation, and to round it out, a little bit of a marathon, over 10 miles of Finnish back road sendage, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be crazy. These stages go by very quickly. Finland tends to be a very quick rally in terms of overall speed, but you'll see what I'm talking about as we get out there. And one last thing to touch on before we go out there, given the absolute ferocity of last stage, we're going to consider a second spare tire, but we opt not to take it. We have faith in ourselves this time. And for the first stage this weekend, as always, strap in, no commentary, get a feel for how quick Finland can be.
Starts 20, flat right of a crest, 130, turn unseen, 4 left long. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 20. Flat right of a crest, 130, turn unseen, 4 left long, into 6 right of a crest, 100, crest, and 3 left long, 40, 3 left long, opens of a crest, into 6 right, 50, 6 left of a jump, 70, 3 right, tightens of a crest, 100, turn 3 right, keep in of a crest, opens, 80, 6 right of a crest, jump, 50, caution, 6 left of a small jump, to keep middle of a big jump, 60, flat right of a crest, extra long, into crest, 3 left long, opens 6, long of a crest, to keep flat middle of a crest, and jump, and 5 right of a crest long, past junction, 6 left of a crest, into 6 right tightens, and keep left of a 50, 6 right of a big crest into turn 6 left, 80. 6 right of a crest in 4 left long, opens of a crest, 50. Turn 5 right, extra long, opens 30, 3 right, tightens of a crest. And keep left of a crest, flat right of a crest, and 6 left, opens of a big jump, 60. Flat right of a big jump, into 6 left long, opens of a crest, into 5 right of a crest, 50. 5 left, keep in, 40. 5 right, opens of a jump, to jump, and 4 left, tightens 3 of a crest. Opens, keep middle of a jump, 40. 5 right, extra long, tightens 4, 30. 4 left long, opens of a big jump, 100. 6 right, tightens of a crest, narrow, and turn late 4 left, extra long, tightens of a crest, 30. 4 right, very long of a crest, opens, keep middle of a crest, 30. 6 right long of a crest, 100. Keep middle of a jump, 30. Flat right of a jump, 60. 6 right at house, opens 50. Flat middle of a big jump, and flat jump, 100. Flat left to jump, and keep right of a crest, jump, 70. Keep middle of a jump long, into 6 left of a dip, and crest, 150. 6 right of a crest long, tightens of a jump, 30. Flat jump, 100 of a finish. Flat middle of a big jump, 150 to stop.
All right, welcome to Finland. Like I said, very high-speed rally this weekend. We're going to be getting very comfortable with the rev limiter, pushing maximum force all weekend. Real quick, just listen in.
Looking good for a stage win in there.
That's right, stage win off the bat. Nothing too irregular from us, but if we go ahead and look directly over the results, as you can see, obviously won this stage well over 10 seconds, did decently in every single split, as you can see right now, and stage notes, nothing to note. That's the big kicker. Now, splitting through every single driver this weekend, as you can see, we are 5th place overall, even putting to some shame to some Group B cars this weekend. Off to a great start, but let's see if we can carry it into the second stage here. All right, so first stage, practice road. Second stage, almost 10 miles of high-speed finish action. Making it to the end here, going to be a huge story.
Starts 100 through dip and flat right of a crest, 80. 4 left of a crest and jump.
All right, so immediately calls coming in. We got a lot to think about coming in at the beginning here. We're just going to jump right in here.
2.
Lights go up, hold the revs, dump the clutch, and we go into the first part of this marathon through Finland. 6 right into 80. Watch your speed. Already in the 5th gear, looking towards the top of our speed. 4 left over jump 200. So watch your angle over and jump over the 200. Keep right over big jump. So kind of slowly work your way over towards the stage. Actually keeping left on the stage there. That was not the way we should have taken that again. Do as I say, not as I do. You can see a lot of footage here of me kind of ignoring calls when I shouldn't be. And these laps of judgments, if you go back and watch a second time, look at every single accident that's ever happened on this channel. It's usually on me. It's because I didn't hear a call. Like right here, keep left over jump over 80. When I keep left, sets me up perfectly to keep going on the stage just like that. But earlier when I didn't, again, like he said keep left right there, very sketchy landing right there. You have to listen to every single call that comes in, especially in Finland here. We are going so hard. Dip into 50 over square right. Get the car slowed down. Having a hard time doing that, indeed. Slowing down for the square right, a little bit of a difficulty there. 6 right into 6 left, keep right over 80. So we're going to get our speed back all the way back into 5th gear. Going to be common here this weekend towards the top of the rev range the entire time over. Keeping right over 80 and then middle into jump sets us up over the stage just like that. And we're going to have to listen for all of those this weekend. You're going to see us sending over massive jumps. 6 right, keep middle over crest. There's that 6 right, middle over crest, watching it, and you can see the track laying out in front of us, just a massive straight line, and then a 5 left tightens 4. Slow the car down, watch it right here. It's going to open up for us just like this. 6 right over jump long 100. So again, find your angle over the jump, 100 meters of free space, and then a 5 left don't cut. That's why telephone poles on the inside, sending it over there accordingly. And again, finding your proper angle over these jumps will be the biggest change between incredible pace and not sending it into a tree. And the latter, obviously, you don't want to find yourself smacking anything. So finding the proper angle over these corners. If it's a 4 left, make sure you slow down, even if it looks crazy. Right here, 6 right, tightens 3. Slow the car down, watch it right there. And we didn't get set up for the tightens perfectly. Like I said, we are still far from perfect. I'm going to be making plenty of mistakes this weekend. Right there is one of them. Getting lucky that there wasn't any rocks on the right side of that stage. And again on the right side of the stage, getting into the dips, missing calls as they come in. 6 right over crest long. Make sure you find your angle early. And 6 left. And then sudden 3 right. You can take that as a short call. We're going to tap the brakes, send the call in early. And we didn't send it hard enough, as you see understeering over there. Again, getting lucky that there's nothing super dangerous on the inside. And right here, 3 left tightens. See if we slow down for this properly. Down into 4th gear, into 3rd gear. Grab some handbrake to get the car turned in because, again, having trouble slowing down. Finland will do this to you. It's such a consistently high-speed rally that you'll find yourself getting into the rhythm of just being in the highest gear you've got, pedal to the metal the entire time. When those calls come in telling you to slow down, you have to take them with the utmost care. Right here, 5 left, extra, extra long. We didn't drop a lot of speed. Look at how much speed we dropped relative to being, completely maxed out to ensure we make that corner. If we don't find patience for that, like this right here, slow 80 into 3 right. Am I going to listen to this? Slow the car down, make sure we get in, and then power out accordingly. When you hear those calls and take them with the caution that they deserve, you're going to find yourself flowing through the stage so much easier. As right now, if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, massive gap to the car behind us. That's because we are taking these calls, for the most part, as well as we can, until that happens. It seems as every time I start to toot my own horn, things get wrong. What went wrong there? Tell me in the comments. I'm not going to tell you, but if it still runs, we're going to have some fun. The car, actually not even a crack in the windshield. I guess like there was a quote-unquote light rollover, and we're going to continue business as usual because this is rally. If the car is continuing to run, we're going to absolutely send it. And as you see, we might have flipped, but we are right back to the top of the rev range, just in 5th gear, going as fast as possible. 5 right over, or flat right over crest. Keep middle over jump. So again, a little of the brakes there just because we were going so fast at the moment. There's not an actual speedometer in the car, but I believe the top speed of these R2 cars is around 120 miles an hour, and we are sending it through these forests accordingly. Keep middle over big jump. Let's see just how big is this. Here's the first one, over big jump, actually tapping the brakes just to not completely destroy the car. And it might have worked out well for us because that cliff on the right side, quite massive. Again, watching our speed as well as we can. This rally really requires you to be flat out the entire time. But again, once you need to slow down, take it as well. 5 left, tightens 4, into 4 left, very long. Again, as soon as I tell you guys, when you don't listen to the slowdown calls with care, you're going to get caught out every time. I heard 4 left and thought, I'll be okay. Okay, I was not understeering massively off the stage there. A little bit of a bump going into the what sent me off eventually, but I should have been going slow enough to not get caught by that in the first place. So again, lessons to be found here. We have not crashed. Yeah, we had a minor rollover. Now it's time to bounce back stronger than ever. As you can see, coming towards the end of the stage here, relatively decent run from us. Yeah, I know we did roll over, all jokes aside, but besides that, keeping strong pace into the 4 left over 640, keep right over jump maybe, and not necessarily jump. If we were in a faster car, we probably would have caught some air there, which is good that we slowed down in practice. 6 left over jump into 6 right long. Now again, watch our speed as we come in here. We're going to be coming towards the top of 5th gear, 6 long over crest, fit pin. And we're keeping it pinned the entire time. 6 right over dip, 6 left over crest, jump. Look at the speed carried over these jumps and watch my angles as I take off. You listen to the call that comes in and trust that you won't land facing towards a ditch. Now, that doesn't work out every single time. You'll see some much more sketchy angles here. Since this one was supposed to be a left 4, my car was not pointed the right way. And recovering even worse, now going into a rock. Not the greatest start from us yet again. I know that we did okay on the first stage, and once the pressure was on for the longer one, accidents being made once again. Am I officially washed? Maybe. We'll see. We still have a very long weekend ahead of us, and the damage actually isn't too bad. As you can see, the car's still moving along. Didn't feel particularly underpowered at this stage. Just a little bit of an understeer incident. Just an incident. And we're going to keep chucking along here, coming towards the end here. 6 left into 6 right. Watch our speed. Watching a lot of oversteer here, and we're just flicking the car back and forth. These high-speed sections in front-wheel drive cars, you have to be careful to not send it in too hard, because when you try to catch that oversteer, sometimes you overcorrect. Things go poorly very quickly. You've seen it happen on the channel before, but we're going to kind of take it easy towards the end here. We've had a couple moments of brown pants being induced and riding in towards the end here. Still very high speed, but not taking any unnecessary risks. But in Finland, you got to send it. I mean, you can only slow down so much, and the big jumps are the big jumps. 3 left over crest. Watch our speed coming into this corner. Make sure we slow down with more than enough. And again, a relatively low speed section, at least as far as Finland is concerned. A 3 left into a 4 left, that's slow in Finland. But right back to regular programming here. 6 right over 80, right back to high speed. And again, watching our angles as we send it over the jumps. Into a sudden 4 right, tightens 3. So brake hard, watch for the corner coming in suddenly, and then tightening just a little bit. Power out once you've made it. 4 right into 80 again. Just get your way through that corner, power out early again. Probably didn't slow down as well as I could have there. Not very much of a racing line being taken there. Couple corners right before we get over the finish here. 4 right over dip, 150 over finish. And that's it, just like that. Slowing the car down. Despite the mistakes, almost a 20-second victory over second place. Again, I'm going to complain about the difficulty of the game. We should be getting punished for these mistakes, but
We might have won that stage.
We might have won that stage, indeed. And now, as you can see, a little bit of damage on the front of the car from when we smacked that rock. But obviously, we got the victory. We're looking over the splits and the time real quick. Obviously, a little over 19 seconds is the gap to second place on that stage. Event time, we're doing pretty well, all things considered. And now we're going to go into the first service stage of the weekend. We were hoping to have nothing to fix here. However, things didn't go to plan in that second longer stage, and I'm sure we're going to have some sort of damage to the car. Stage 3. A little over 4.5 miles. Again, elevation is very deceiving here. We're still going to be sending off some jumps, and it is a night stage. So looking over what damage we have to the car. Radiator damage from the collision to the front is to be expected. Bodywork damage, not looking fantastic. Wheel geometry and lights also poor. Now, because it's a night stage, lights got to be the first thing we fix. Wheel geometry is nice. It's nice to drive in a straight line when you want to. And it looks like upgrades to our staff has allowed us to fix things quicker, because we didn't have necessarily easy repairs, but we had about 6 minutes left over. Now, $6,000 is not ideal. We don't want to be spending $6,000 every 2 stages, but we're going to see if we can mitigate that in the second stint of this rally weekend. Of course, changing our tires. We're going to look over the stage because I forgot what we had, and we've got 2 stages around 5 miles. That sounds like a short enough stint for me to throw on some softs. Maybe make less mistakes, go faster while we do it. Let's see how we tackle it.
150 over bumps.
All right, so 150 over bumps, the only calls that we're going to get. So it sounds like this one starts pretty quick. Lights go up, so do the revs. Hold it, dump the clutch, and send the car like clockwork at this point. 150 over bumps, into 6 left extra long, over crest jump. So very quick start here, already towards the top of 5th gear by the time we get our first actual change in direction. And it's just a quick little send over a jump like that. A little bit of clockwork here in Finland so far. Flat middle over jump. Watch your angle over the jump. Send it accordingly. Land as smoothly as possible and keep it going. Now, slow 6 left long for what? Unseen 2. That's why that slow call came in. Now, there wasn't a distance call there, so I kind of slowed down way too early, unless I missed it even in post. A little bit of a interesting call from our co-driver, to say the least, as we send it over a huge jump once again. 4 right, very long, tightens over crest. So watch your speed. It's going to tighten right over this crest. And it does indeed tighten over the crest. 6 left over jump. Watch your speed once again. Watch your angle. Just kind of even your way over the course of the stage here. Keep middle over jump. 4 left over crest. So we're going to slow down before we jump, because the 4 left is something that we cannot completely send it through. And managing our speed pretty well right there. 3 right tightens again. Watch your speed on entry. We're going to downshift here. Keep it into 4th. But downshift into 3rd. Maybe not. Keep it in 4th as we understeer over there. 5th gear into 3 left. We're going to slow down once again. Sorry, I'm messing up my words a lot today. 6 right over crest long, into 6 left over crest, tightens, into 5 right over dip. So again, very high speed sections here. Just a little bit of, I'll call them extended S's. There aren't necessarily S's where you can stay in the middle of the stage the entire time, but you can minimize angles
50.
Oh my goodness, that was a rough landing if I've ever seen one, but we managed to come away relatively unscathed, getting way too close to the end of the stages there. And again, go back and listen to the calls that came in and figure out what I did wrong there. I feel like these are perfect opportunities for you guys to learn what not to do sometimes. Obviously, I learned from all of these, despite the fact that I have been crashing a lot. I'm not crashing as much. We're at the tippity top of the mountain, but we're only halfway up. Think about it. Turn unseen 5 right. Keep in over crest, which you're going to do. Keep in right here. And that's why the stage is going to very, very quickly close on our left-hand side. Crest coming in again. 4 right long over dip. Watching our speed over that crest so that we can make sure we hit that 4 right decently well. And the elevation changes may not be great in comparison, but the speed at which they happen here are just so insane. So many extremely rapid changes, whether it's uphill or downhill. You see the stage just drops out from underneath you, and you have to watch yourself on the landing. Managing your speed, 5 right into 5 left, extra long, slow 30, turn unseen square left, which is why that slow call came in. Now again, watch your speed on the entrance, slow it down all the way down to the first gear, manage understeer in these low speed situations, and power out as early as you can. 6 left over 80. Watch your speed once again as we're going to rocket back to the top of our rev range. Keep middle over jump. Watch if we do it correctly. Over 100. Here's that jump coming a little bit more towards the right-hand stage. Last minute adjustment sees us take that on the middle like the co-driver wanted us to. 6 left into 5 left over jump. Now this is going to be an interesting one. We have to set ourselves up for that 5 left, which we do correctly. But if we had maintained speed for a 6 left right there, we're understeering into the wilderness all day, every day. And I don't feel like doing that anymore. I'm getting real sick of this almost killing myself deal every weekend. 5 right over 100. 6 right tightens 4. So again, watching our speed towards the end here. Massive section over the jump. The 6 right's going to tighten into a 4. Just left tap the brake. Set yourself up for the jump of the 4 right. 6 left over 150 over finish. And that was a relatively quick stage. Crazy how fast you can cover almost 5 miles in Finland. I mean, we are absolutely hauling here, and a 24-second gap shows that we were moving with some swiftness there. Now, can we maintain that composure going into stage 4?
That should be enough for a stage win.
That is enough for a stage win. I checked P Mills, relax. But we're going to see if we can maintain that back-to-back, because if we can go 2 stages in Finland without crashing, CD racing's not washed. Yeah, how these last weekends have gone, I bet y'all expected that footage to cut to me just absolutely smacking a tree. But stage 4, nothing of note once again, so I figured we could go ahead and skip that one. Stage 5, last 2 stages of the weekend. ABC repair-wise, we don't have much to fix on the car. Like I said, I'm not lying when I said nothing of interest happened. A couple brush-ins with the side of the stage. That's about it. It's some light body work. And we're going to go ahead and get trucking here in a second once again. But improvements, people, upgrades, that's $966 as opposed to $3,000 every stage. And I noticed we unlocked tuning for this car a couple weekends ago, and I haven't really been utilizing it. And here in Finland, we've been topping out very quickly. So I'm going to stretch out this final drive by quite a bit. Should I have probably adjusted individual gears? Yes. Am I 100% familiar with the most effective way to do that? Not yet. So I know, stretch out that final drive. I'll just, in general, have a harder time maxing out the car every single time. We'll see how it goes. Might have stretched it too much and the car might bog down and just have no power. We'll figure it out. And opting to switch the tire situation just to make sure that we can get through these last 2 stages. No issues, plenty of fail safes. Let's see how we do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
And launching the car hard from the start here. 6 right over crest. Looks like it's going to be a relatively quick section to start out here. So 6 left tightens 5, 60. Go ahead and keep it in 4th gear around here, slinging it around. Probably could have shifted into 5th, but again, we stretch out those gears. 4th gear is not going to be as useless as it was previously. We can actually utilize that gear now instead of pretty much always having to be in 5th. Even in these high-speed situations, slow it down to 4th gear. You see we're so plenty high in the rev ranges to power out of these corners. And it looks like so far a worthy tune or an adjustment to make the car. 5 left tightens over crest, keep in. We do that well. You hear the left tire lifting there. That's why the revs jump like that over that crest. Happens a lot this weekend when you hear the revs just shoot up over crest, but it doesn't necessarily look like I'm in the air. I'm most likely lifting a wheel, especially in these front-wheel drive cars. When that front tire comes up, you're just going to ring as the revs climb. And you'll hear that all over the time. You'll notice I actually tend to lift, and right there, there's a perfect example of it. That front left was off. off the ground. We're going to get some rev drops, but you'll hear me and notice that I actually lift for most jumps. Anytime I'm going to be in the air for like quite a few seconds, I lift. Do I have to? No, it's a video game. I'm not actually worried about destroying the engine, but I like to practice what I would do in real life. You see right there, it didn't necessarily lift, but this one, I'll drop the revs just like that. Early goings here, I was going to say that we'd actually been doing pretty well, and as soon as that happens, we do understeer into a ditch. And maybe I should just not talk positively about myself, and we will become the greatest driver of all time. I will just remain my own biggest hater this entire series, and I will climb to the top, no hesitation, because as you can see, it happened again. I was about to say something nice about myself. A little bit of an understeer incident. Let's just lock in with the calls here. 6 right long, tightens 5. So again, keep relatively like a racing line. No, it tightens 5 right there. We're going to throw it in. Could have taken that a little bit less sketchy, but we got enough speed through there to keep our composure. Over the huge jump into 6 right, tightens 5 left. So we're going to try and work our way over, knowing we have to flick it to the left. I ended up hitting the brakes just to slow down there. I didn't feel too confident on that flick back. And we only have a 2-second gap, 2-second place at the moment. And I did opt to switch, I believe, for medium tires in the service park. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me if my memory sucks. But medium tires here because I know we've got a long one after this. Relatively short stage right here. We're almost 2.5 minutes in and we're basically halfway through. So like I said, very quick stage here. And quick succession of jumps. Watch what I was talking about this entire weekend. Angle over the jumps. You know there's a 6 left. Angle your car accordingly over the jumps. Same thing with the 5 right. It's a little bit extra of a throw in. Throw it in harder. 6 right over 60. Absolutely hauling in 5th gear. I think the average speed of this rally is like 85, 90 miles an hour, which is just absurd. And right there, oh my God. Quite the accident there. Someone can definitely break that down because we're going to break it down a little bit later in the third person. Trust me, because that was quite the brown pants moment, ladies and gentlemen. No major damage to the car from what I can tell, but that was quite the send, quite the story to tell. I'm sure my co-driver is so done with me. I don't think he can put up with this every weekend. So we're going to keep on trucking. Still leading this stage at the moment. 6 left over 5 left, 150. So we're going to get very high into our rev range here towards the top end of what this car can do, even with the stretched out gears. Absolutely hauling over these jumps. We hear the calls coming in that we need to keep middle of a big jump, but we are still very left on the stage. Don't end up getting punished for it, just kind of find our way back onto the stage. No major rocks or anything on the outside, but whatever that was in front of us. Wildlife getting involved this weekend. 4 right, watch the speed, slow it down, don't want to understeer, especially over that crest. Manage it okay. 200 into early, 5 left over crest. Now watch the early call here, flick it in early, and make the stage just like that. Those very quick kinks in the road are what they mean when they say early. For those of y'all that watch the calls video, you know what we're talking about. 6 right, over finish, absolutely hauling hard on the brakes. Oh my God, that's a brave man, that Marshall. I would have taken a few steps back with how hot we were coming, but we did win that stage just a little over 4 minutes, and I think quite the gap to second place. I didn't catch it as we crossed the line there, but looks like around a 13-second gap to second place, which means that our weekend continues to grow stronger. But I did want to take a look in third person at our collision earlier. We'll go ahead and cut to this footage real quick. All right, so coming in here, we're going to go over a jump that tightens, and we did not take it as if it tightens. You see understeering off the stage, missing the ditch, hitting a bump in the road, somersaulting forward, basically doing a flat spin, but still facing towards the ground, and somehow driving away without any major damage. I think we'd landed just leaned back enough to not land flat on the radiator and do some major damage to the car, and now is that a reality check ahead of the marathon? A little over 10 miles here in Finland. Let's see if we can lock in.
Left 18, flat crest into 6 right long, tightens 5 over crest. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, launching hard for the final stage here in Finland. 6 left, flat crest over 80. So again, high speed right off the go here. There's no warm up here. It's just get up and go. 6 right over 5 right. Watch our speed here. Enter a little more towards the left side so we can take somewhat of a racing line over these high sweeping corners, but you can never be too sure here. 6 left, tightens 3. So again, watch your speed. It's going to tighten over the crest. We're actually grabbing quite a bit of handbrake to force that car to turn, and it worked out pretty well for us. Caught the oversteer on the inside. and continue chucking along. Now we've got a 4 right over here, so watch our speed just a little bit. Already in 5th gear. Remember, we did stretch them out, so soaring over these jumps. We're going a little bit faster than we were earlier towards the top of 5th. I think we can get this thing a little closer to like 125 now, which is honestly way too fast for these little cars on a dirt road. But we're going to continue to send it anyways, because that's what rally drivers do. 6 left and a 5 left over jump, 100 over crest. A little sketchy over that 5 left, a lot of angle over there. Watching angles over the crest, again, the theme of the weekend. And this stage, for sure, has had quite a bit of unseen corners. We are having to trust these co-driver calls to the absolute extreme, but it's working out for us so well so far. 5 right over crest. Again, when you don't get that angle right, you're going to land in very undesirable scenarios, we'll say. Again, understeering off the stage there. Luckily, there was no cliff on the inside to really catch us out. And going over these jumps, not adjusting for the closing corner enough, momentarily in the ditch there, managed to get out just before the little rock formation. So again, luck on our side this weekend. And maybe that's what you really need here in Finland, just a little bit of luck. Crest into 6 left over another jump. Keep middle over crest, keep 5 right, tightens 3. So again, slowing down here into 4th gear. Power out as soon as it looks like we're going to make this corner, using all of the stage here. I'm trying to power out as early as possible. For this 3 left, we're going to slow down a bit. Again, grabbing a bit of handbrake just to force the car to turn in there, because front-wheel drive cars understeer a lot. And yeah, there are driving techniques you can do to mitigate that, but it's a lot more difficult to do that consistently and more predictably on the ever-changing track surfaces of a rally stage. And that's why rally, in my opinion, is the most difficult form of motorsport. Because you can understand racing techniques all day long, but, you know, if you're not driving the same track every weekend, you can only, quote-unquote, master the car so much on a per-stage basis. But trying to lock in the best that we can is how you become the fastest. You see, we're applying techniques when we can, as predictably as we can, to send it through these stages. We're doing quite well compared to the AI at this moment in time, which is to be expected. When we finally put it together and drive at the pace that I know we can consistently, we are way too good for this current level of AI difficulty. And for the first time this weekend, I have said something positive about myself and not almost had to mortgage my house from totaling the car again. So I think that in itself is fantastic improvement. 15-second gap, a little over a third of the way through this stage at the moment. We are about 3 minutes in, so this is a long one. Even by Finland's pacing standards, this is going to be a long 10 miles. And we are absolutely soaring right now. Keeping up with the calls quite well. We've kind of found a little bit of a rhythm in this run. Definitely feeling the flow a little bit. Maybe not necessarily a flow state, but the calls were connecting very well. Every single little adjustment, everything that needed to be heard was being heard. And I even had what I guess you could say was good intuition sending it over some of these corners. When you see me grabbing these handbrakes on the crest, I know going over the crest, my angle is not what it should be. I need to adjust accordingly. Sending it over some of these, just like this. You see that right there. Getting close to the inside wall, but I knew it was going to open up for me. 5 left opens 50. So we're going to watch for it right here. Hit the brakes right there. Power out as soon as you've made it, just like clockwork. 6 right over 40. Watch your send in here for the 6 left over jump, because if we stayed outside there, a lot of hazards out there on the outside of the track that we don't want to hit. Caution 54 right over crest. Slow down hard. Send the car into the 4 right. Absolutely flick that thing in there, but it looks like we need to get it close to the left-hand side of the stage on the exit there. 4 left over 100, so again, slow the car down. 4th gear now, the very valuable option for these 4 hauls. Keep it towards full, stay in the rev range, and then slow it down for the hairpin right in front of us down here. Slowing the car down. Decent measure of distance. Came in a little bit slower than I had to, but we're going to power out as well as we can. It is 6 left long, flat right over crest, over 100, so getting right back to the high-speed stuff here. Sending it over this one right here, flat right over jump. Again, watch your angles into 120, so lots of free space in between these calls. I haven't really pointed out this weekend, but you'll notice you're going to hear a lot of distance calls in Finland. You're traveling so fast and sometimes understeering off the road because you go a little too fast, but you go so fast here that you have to have distance calls in between everything, because realistically these are quite open dirt roads. You're just going super fast, and you link them quite quickly. But in retrospect, there are quite a bit of distance between most of these calls here. You got 6 right over jump into 90, and early 5 left over crest jump into 60. Like I said, it's going to be like call, maybe 2 or 3 calls at most, and then a distance marker right there, 55 right, extra long, into caution 5 left over crest. We're going to watch our angle here. There's that crest, watch it right there, and then there's that distance call, 100 over crest, 6 left tightens over jump. So watch our angle here, because it tightens over the jump. just like that. Kept in the middle right there, kept us okay. 6 left over jump over 100, and we are absolutely flying. Even after stretching the gear, sitting right at the top of 5th gear, right, definitely around 120 miles an hour, sending it through the back roads right here. And then slow it down for that 5 left into dip and jump. Definitely don't want to be going too fast for unpredictable surface or elevation changes, that is. Understeering a little bit on that 4 left. Didn't want to grab handbrake and really upset the car. Just let off the gas, kind of let it find its own line. It wasn't that bad of an understeer to where I needed to hit the handbrake. And sometimes you have to adjust to that. It takes some time getting used to the... Yeah, my videos aren't monetized yet. I'm going to say it takes some time to get used to the oh shit moments of rally. Sometimes you'll find yourself sideways and instinctively you want to grab handbrake or just slam the handbrake, or not the handbrake, or, you know, put your foot all the way on the floor on the brake pedal. Sometimes you have to understand and get used to the way your car acts in certain situations so that you can know it's not all bad. In fact, sometimes you're going to want to enter a corner sideways so that you can power out as early as possible. And learning when to and when not to do the most when it comes to saving your car. Sometimes a situation is not only savable but actually quicker. And in that situation, I did not need to grab handbrake and upset the car or send it sideways. Just let off the gas. It's going to, you know, slow down your momentum. You're not going to understeer as profusely. Just let you realign yourself with the line you want to be on and power out. And now coming into the last stint here, the last little split of this weekend, as you saw, we had a pretty crispy 4 right there all the way on the inside, used a racing line, and we are hauling at the moment. We are linking these corners together very well. All of calls have been connecting while I was yapping there, and we have been going very quick. A little bit of a temporary slowdown, catch your breath, and then right back into the high-speed stuff. 6 left into Titan, cautions 3, so watch your speed. There's that 3 right there, into 3 right over crest. Flick it back aggressively as you power out as soon as you made it. These front-wheel drive cars, all about patience on your exit. Don't want to understeer too early. Keep middle over big jump, sending it over so much airtime, and making sure that we get slowed down enough for this 3 left, and actually understeering on the exit there. Luckily, not too much damage. That would have been tragic to lose it right at the end. Understeer on the entire exit of that corner. I probably should have let off, but I tried to just remain consistent on my exit. 5 right into 5 left. Flick it back and forth accordingly. Over 80. Watch your exits over the crest like that. Those elevation changes can jump your revs and make you lose quite a bit of grip, or you can just understeer into the outside of the stage. Again, I'm not even sure what happened right there, if I'm being honest. I would have to pause this footage to really break down why and when I mess up. But positive schmositive, that's another victory confirmed. A 46-second gap over the 10-mile stage. We were moving. Real G's moving silence like lasagna, but we were moving loud because I'm from Texas. You thought I was going to make a joke about something else? No, it's not going to happen here. But 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go 10 miles on a rally stage shows that we were moving with the quickness. Again, a huge gap to second place, and quite a bit of gap amongst the drivers this weekend. I saw a lot of different names in those top 10s as we crossed the lines, but none were as cool and swifty as we were. And that is another finish. Back on the podium, first place, baby. Dirt Rally 2. We've been killing it. 30 points to the championship standings. But what we really care about is that money. $109,000. That's a big payday for sure. And did we unlock the final engine mapping? We did. We get to go even faster. And after having a weekend where we don't completely destroy the car, I think we deserve it. Looking over the championship standings, first place in Greece, first place in USA, first place in Wales, third place in Monaco, and first place in Finland. That's what I'm talking about. Up next, Spain, the only tarmac rally of the weekend, and at least in its entirety. Monaco doesn't count. There's no grip there. And looking over the championship standings, we have not mathematically won this championship. So realistically, we have to finish in Spain, and we have to finish with enough points to not get overtaken by second place. But I think realistically, as long as we finish higher than 12th, we're going to be okay. That's what we're going to aim for. But for now, thank you guys so much for tuning in this video. I really appreciate all the growth that this channel's been going through lately, and I appreciate y'all for sticking around to the ones that maybe aren't the big topic videos. I really appreciate it, guys. So thank you so much for stopping in. As always, feel free to heel toe that like and subscribe combo, and of course, I will see y'all in the next one.